Calgary. So grateful to be with everybody in Iowa. And for Catherine and I, it's always a special time to be down in Iowa because
Sunday the 14th of January 2024. It's very important in this election season. We give you the facts as they happen. Trump is in Iowa today ahead of the caucus, and he has been heckled and interrupted. These are the two moments that, weirdly, your likes of Fox and Blue Tick Twitter they don't want you to see.
And I did three rallies.
You've taken millions.
Thank you, God. Thank you. That's all right. Go home to mommy. Your mommy's waiting. Go home to mommy. What? What is? Oh. In the next short period of time, but she's starting to fade as people find out, and she's got some really bad money behind her. She's got Democrats financing her in New Hampshire. She's got Koch, who's a globalist, total globalist. He's fighting her. It's funny. He's sitting at the snake. That's our border. We're taking in people from prisons. We're taking in people from mental institutions. We're taking in murderers and drug lords. We're taking in people that are very, very sick with diseases that will be spread all over our nation.
Bring President Trump on back. Gucci granny, Gucci granny. Gucci, Gucci granny, Gucci granny. Gucci, Gucci granny, Gucci granny. Going MAGA, keep a blicky in my Gucci fanny. Grandma's for Trump, yeah, 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 yeah. Granny's for Trump, yeah, yeah.
If Donald Trump, and we talked about the other scenario where, maybe things don't go so well for him in Iowa, Nikki Haley catches fire in New Hampshire. We could also see in this New Hampshire, or this Des Moines Register poll is coming out in about 45 minutes from now. If it shows that Donald Trump's way out in front,
right,
and he crushes the competition in Iowa, goes on, crushes the competition in New Hampshire, this race might effectively be over.
Oh, absolutely. And I've felt all along that it's highly likely that we will have the first major party presidential nominee who is a convicted felon. I do believe that even all of this stuff is just discounted by the MAGA base, and the MAGA base doesn't like to hear it, and when they hear it, they double down on him because they don't want to admit they're wrong. There's a tremendous, and for a lot of other people, I mean, the point that we were just discussing with David was that people have gotten so used to it. I mean, it's psychologists and political historians call it malignant normality. That we've just, we've so used to Donald Trump saying outrageous, anti-democratic, criminal things, basically, where he has asserted the other day he was expressing on Truth Social just today, I think, praise for a mob boss.
With thanking the mobster, Trump posted a veiled threat aimed at the judges overseeing his criminal and defamation trials. I mean, there's no bottom, and as you were saying, there's nothing really at this point that Trump can say or do that apparently...
It's just sort of baked into the cake that the man is completely beyond any moral suasion, that he completely lacks any moral compass. And I don't think people think that this is hyperbole. Let's put the Truth Social post back on screen.
Absolutely.
Forgive
my hand being in the shot there. If we can put that Truth Social, it says from Donald Trump, this is on Truth Social. Thank you to Sammy the Bull. I hope judges Engoron and Kaplan see this. We need fairness, strength, and honesty in our New York courts.
Imagine that.
That's not really available.
Telling judges committed to uphold the rule of law that they should listen to a mobster. He is a sociopath. He's absolute, and I think it's going to be one of the things I think that needs to happen this year is we need to start talking about Donald Trump's mental state. This is not a well man. Man who would say this publicly and actually believe it, because he does, is not a well man. And
The snake. That's our border. We're taking in people from prisons. We're taking in people from mental institutions. We're taking in murderers and drug lords. We're taking in people that are very, very sick with diseases that will be spread all over our nation. Still got millions of more votes than we did the first time. But I'm looking at a man in the back. I tell you what, I watched Ron DeSanctimonious getting ready to speak about 6 months ago. He was on a stage with your governor, and your very loyal governor, who's now the least popular governor in the country. And they were getting ready to speak, and it was very interesting. Two young men, they looked like they came out of the Wharton School of Finance. Very handsome, he's obviously from Iowa. He was standing back, and somebody was introducing him. And do you remember this? And they walked up, and they took the podium like this. They were the coolest cats I've ever seen. They weren't like sneaking up, right? They walked on the stage, just lifted everything up, and they just walked off with it, two guys. And the governor was screaming, "You took our podium." And DeSanctimonious is screaming, "Where? My podium, my podium." They're standing here with that. And they walked off. And then if you watched it a little longer, you see them, they walked around, and you could see them backstage. They just stole the podium. They took it away. I'm dying to find those two guys because I'd love to shake their hand. I don't know if they're in the room. Are they in the room? I don't know. Nobody knows who they are. It was one of the coolest acts I've ever seen in politics. So if you would spread the word, I've never done this before, spread the word. I have to find, I said, I'm going to Iowa, I have to find those two guys, okay? So please look for them. Madam Attorney General, you can do it better than anybody if you put the full... Challenge the election, Billy Ray. He challenged the election. How dare we have to indict him? He challenged the election. They talk about slates. I had nothing to do with slates, but patriots had to do with slates. And they indict him. Thomas Jefferson did slates. They've been slates all over. On Alabama, which I want to... Biden is clobbering Nikki Haley. She's killing Nikki Haley in the polls, and she's also beating DeSantis in the polls.
You've taken millions.
Thank you. That's all right. Go home to mommy. Your mommy's working. Go home to mommy. Thank you very much. So young. So young. You know? It's amazing, because that used to happen all of the time. And I don't think it's happened in 2.5 or 3 years. That's the first. And she's so young. So young. So anyway, so young and immature. Thank you very much. Thank you. It always adds excitement. Thank you. That's why we have America. But they'll figure it out. You know, they're fighting oil. They're fighting oil. They're basically saying, let's close up our country because if you notice, China is right now China is building actually every week a coal-fired plant. And these people are fighting, and you're going to end up with a country that won't be able to compete if you listen to them. But they'll grow up. Thank you.